What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Shameless Watch Collector. Buckle up, ladies and gents, because this is a wild one. One of my favorite things about watch collecting is that the sea of incredible watches from fascinating new brands never seems to truly end. A new one seems to pop up every day, delivering materials, dial textures, and value that feel way too good to be true. Sometimes it is too good to be true. Other times, however, it blows your mind in such a serious way that you start looking at every watch in your collection differently. Well, today we're looking at a brand that I personally discovered pretty recently called Aethelsohn and their new Crimson Shard watch. Let's take an in-depth look at this watch and assign it a final grade to find out which side of this brand and this watch we are on. You are not going to want to miss this one. Let's get into it. Before we get into the review, let's quickly talk a little bit about this brand and how I discovered it and got my hands on this watch. Aethelsohn is a relatively new brand based out of Hong Kong. The name comes from Old English, meaning noble son, which they claim speaks less about status and more about character. That reflects their approach to watches, built on a foundation of real-world experience in watchmaking, engineering, and sourcing. I actually came across them through a Facebook ad while watch hunting on Facebook Marketplace. That wild dial texture caught my eye because it looked like a fun twist on one of my favorite dial texture styles that you really don't see too often, the cracked ice look. So I clicked on the ad, and when I saw the specs and materials paired with the price, I was not sold. It honestly looked far too good to be true. I don't want to spoil too much from the review, but let me just say I wasn't quite comfortable buying a watch at this price, even though it was insane for what it claimed I was getting, but it was from a brand I had never heard of. Let me know in the comments how many of you have heard of Aethelsohn before, or if you guys have any experience with this brand and their watches. Because even though I was seeing good things online, I was still a little too nervous. So I reached out to them, told them about the channel, and asked if they would be willing to send over a watch for me to review. I even told them that I would be happy to take one as a loaner. I just wanted to get my hands on this watch. The curiosity was killing me. Aethelsohn quickly replied, and while they were sold out on nearly all shard colors, we set up a time frame for when the Crimson Shard, the red shade that really stood out to me in the lineup, was assembled. And about a month later, this watch was finally at my front door. Aethelsohn was kind enough to provide this watch in exchange for an in-depth look and a totally honest review. As always, we will judge this watch based only on the price it is currently being offered at on their website, which we will discuss in the price section. So with all that said, let's dive into the review of the Aethelsohn Crimson Shard, working through our usual categories, starting with dimensions. The first thing I noticed about this specific watch was that the dimensions were far, far better than any of the other watches that you would find on AliExpress in the same price bracket with similar dial textures. This is a 40mm diameter watch, which I absolutely love. That size really allows that incredible dial to be fully showcased. And the thickness, or lack of it, is where this watch really starts to flex, coming in at a very impressive 10.2mm case thickness and only 12mm with the crystal. And with a lug-to-lug of 47mm, I personally don't think there is a single tenth of a millimeter where Aethelsohn could have sized this watch better. This is exactly where I like this style of watch to sit on my wrist. In terms of wearability, this watch sits planted and balanced thanks to its slim profile. It doesn't dominate my wrist, but that red dial still has plenty of room to pop and look alive with the many different shades it can achieve. The comfort of this watch is truly mind-boggling. But that is more for the materials section, so let's actually just get straight to that. This is where things start getting crazy. Like I said, buckle up. Let's start with that bracelet, since we were just talking about it. I don't want to sound too unhinged or induce too many eyeball rolls here, but I have to say this part. This bracelet is truly unbelievable in how high quality it looks and feels, both on and off wrist. There is really only one other watch that I have personally held in my life that is sized similarly to this watch and delivers the same combination of off-wrist substance and on-wrist comfort, and that is my best friend's Rolex Datejust that cost him around $7,000. That Rolex has this unreal feeling that is hard to describe, where off-wrist it feels substantial and hefty in a very satisfying way, but on wrist it completely disappears and feels like absolutely nothing. And I've always thought that was a pretty wild phenomenon and part of why you pay so much for those incredible watches. And I swear on my life, nothing has ever come as close to replicating that feeling as this Aethelsohn watch does. It's scary how close it feels. This Aethelsohn watch feels very substantial off wrist. It's probably going to feel a little jarring at first. It is not a light watch. Even the bracelet itself is a little more rigid than what I'm used to from other watches in this price bracket. And the clasp is on the bulkier side too, thanks to its on-the-fly micro adjustment system, which I have always said I'm happy to accept a thicker clasp for. But I will say, I was a little nervous while resizing this watch for my wrist, because I was wondering how heavy it was going to feel once it was fitted. And while we're talking resizing, the screw and pins used here are super premium and easy to work with, but make sure you're paying attention to which pin belongs to which link, because they are all sized specifically for each link. Another very impressive detail. Finding the perfect fit was very easy with the excellent on-the-fly micro adjustment system they use, and by removing a total of 4 links for me. And let me tell you guys, when I shut that clasp around my wrist and put this watch on for the first time, my jaw hit the floor. This watch feels like absolutely nothing on wrist. Name any other watch brand you find on AliExpress. This bracelet is as good as, and probably better than, their best work. There's a lot I really like about this watch, but this is by far my favorite part. The wearing experience could not be more of a joy. You forget it's on your wrist the literal second you put it on, and it looks like $1,000,000 all day. More than anything, that was what I was most excited to tell you guys about, and I'm really curious to hear if any of you have had the same experience as me. The bracelet itself is made using 316L stainless steel that is mostly brushed, but it has the 2 polished lines down the center that I'm always a sucker for, especially on these sport dress style watches with awesome textures. The actual feel of the stainless steel is just as impressive as the wearing experience. It feels soft, smooth, and refined, but it still holds up very well against surfaces and scratches. The brushed and polished transitions on the 316L stainless steel case are brilliant, and they do a phenomenal job of helping the dial pop even more. You have a screw-down crown that is very easy to grip and adjust, along with a screw-in exhibition case back. All of that combines to help the watch deliver 100 meters of water resistance, which is plenty for this style. Quite literally, nothing is missed here, and some of it is among the best I have ever seen. Not only at this price point, but far, far beyond it. Let's find out what's powering this watch and talk movement. This is another place where the price and the movement inside this watch just didn't add up for me. But it's there, and it has the exhibition case back to prove it. This is an automatic watch powered by the PT5000 movement. This is a premium, reliable, high-beat Chinese movement with 25 joules and a 38-hour power reserve. The sweep it provides is very smooth, and it's a gorgeous movement to look at behind an exhibition case back. With everything else you're getting here, the insane bracelet quality, the meticulous attention to detail on the dial, and the overall material execution, I do not understand how the PT5000 movement fit into the budget. But I am not complaining, not even a little bit. I am very happy to find this movement in this watch, as it's always been one that I have enjoyed. But add that to the list of things that somehow are not too good to be true about this watch. Let's keep it rolling and talk dial and design. Dials are one thing that Aethelsohn appears to do extremely well, and this watch is no exception. This is a texture style that I'm already a big fan of, as you find similar concepts on watches I talk about on here a lot, like the WM226. The ice crack or shard texture that Aethelsohn created here features cracks that are far thinner than what you find in the WM226, so this actually is a pretty different design. But you're still getting that same sense of depth in the texture that WM achieves, and I think a better spectrum of color shades. Aethelsohn used an embossed brass dial with a fumey enamel lacquer finish to achieve this effect, and it truly is special. It needs to be seen in person to be fully appreciated. I tried to capture it on video and in pictures, but the range of color this dial can achieve is truly mind-blowing. It can go from near black to a rich crimson maroon shade, all the way to a very vivid red, depending on the light you're under and the angle of your wrist. All the shades are stunning, and this watch just feels alive in a way that so few others I own do. This shard texture is available from Aethelsohn in a lot of different color options, all of which I'm a fan of, but I'm glad I went with the crimson. It's just such a badass yet elegant shade of red. Covering this beautiful dial is box dome sapphire crystal with inner AR coating. The anti-reflective coating does a spectacular job of keeping this dial crystal clear from all angles, And the box dome shape adds a nice touch of character to the watch while bringing even more life to the texture. And the sapphire crystal gives you that peace of mind that is so nice to have on a domed crystal. The indices and hands use some of the most blindingly bright BGW9 Super Luminova you will ever see in your entire life. It is so bright in person that it illuminates the entire dial enough to where you can actually see the shard texture. While I don't hate the name Aethelsohn at all, I'm glad they kept it off the dial and just went with their logo symbol. It keeps things simple and clean and lets the dial texture do all the talking. Around 6 o'clock, it kept things restrained as well, with clean typography displaying the word automatic and the water resistance in both feet and meters. One choice in the dial that I'm really happy about, especially compared to other watches with a similar texture, is the lack of a date display. Again, it's all about that dial and its texture. I personally don't want or need a date taking up any real estate. The indices look very premium and sit tall on the dial. The polished sharp edges look great with the lume centers, and I like how that design language is carried onto the hands as well. The shade of red on the outer ring is a little brighter than the rest of the watch. I do wish it was a tiny bit darker, maybe just even black, and featured a glossier finish to complement the dial better. But I wouldn't say it distracts from the dial or anything like that, just a nitpick. The little design details that I love are here too, with the logo symbol engraved deep and confidently on the crown, which looks fantastic. The same logo can be found on the clasp as well, and the transparent caseback includes text around it too. And while I do enjoy how the PT5000 looks behind an exhibition caseback, I think some customization back here, or even the logo on the rotor, would really set it over the top. But now I'm just getting greedy, because oh my goodness, everything here, literally everything, is so well executed. Time to talk price and value. I've teased it for long enough. The price of the Aethelsohn Crimson Shard on their website right now is $199. So no, it's not stupid cheap. But for what you're getting and how well executed it is, I think it is stupid cheap. It feels borderline illegal. We've already gotten to take an in-depth look at a lot of watches around this value tier. But when it comes to bang for your buck value, I can honestly say that nothing I've reviewed is in the same universe as this watch. The materials, quality, craftsmanship, and execution you're getting here belong on a watch with a couple extra zeros at the end of that price tag. Time to assign this watch its final grade. The Aethelsohn Crimson Shard joins exclusive SWC territory and gets an A+. This is the second watch on this channel to ever earn this grade, and for what it's worth, this is the best A+ yet. One thing I want to make clear right now, while I will be leaving this watch linked in the description for you guys to check out, it is not an affiliate link. I do not make a penny from Aethelsohn to make this video, and I do not make a penny from any sale that comes from this video. I just think this watch is that impressive, and I'm that excited to show you guys it. But let's cover exactly how it earned this grade from me. It starts with the most impressive stainless steel bracelet I have ever put on in this price bracket by a country mile. From the second this watch hits your wrist, you know you just put on something built different. An on-the-fly adjustment clasp is always a very nice, and fairly uncommon, bonus to find on a sub $200 watch. The dimensions are absolutely perfect for what I want, and they pick something that we normally do not get with dial textures like this on these sports style watches, with the vast majority of them being 38 or 39mm in diameter. That small jump up to 40mm makes all the difference in the world to truly let these textures shine. And the remarkable 10.2mm case thickness makes this what I would consider the best executed case among the different brands doing this style, at least when it comes to dimensions. Finding a PT5000 powering a watch that is under $200 and has this much attention to detail and top quality material execution is truly rare. And it's just another element adding to the unreal value of this watch. And then there's the dial itself. I mean, it's just so good. The attention to detail, incredible lacquer work, spectrum of shades, and impressive texture depth are as good as anything you will find on AliExpress or really elsewhere. It's such a fun watch to wear, not only because of how comfortable it is, but because of how much fun it is to watch the colors shift through what seems like thousands of different possible shades of red. Every important spec is covered and executed at the highest level. 100 meters of water resistance, screw-down crown and caseback, AR-coated sapphire crystal, and lume as bright as the sun. The dial design itself is perfectly restrained with gorgeous and premium indices and hands all working together to showcase that incredible texture. There is not a single thing I would actually complain about on this watch. Little details like the outer ring on the dial or lack of customization on the movement just feel like potential improvements, and that's pretty much exactly what they are. Nothing more. I would not consider them imperfections. Even the simple packaging is something I consider a plus, because it reinforces exactly where the budget went here. It all went into the watch, and I still don't know how they make a profit when they sell one of these. At the more than fair price of $199, this is what I would consider a perfect watch, an A+. One that I'm having a very hard time taking off my wrist, and one that I am very excited to hear all of your guys' thoughts on. Like I said, I'll leave this watch linked in the description below if you want to check it out, and thank you to Aethelsohn for sending this to the channel so we can take an in-depth look at it. I am very glad I came across that Facebook ad. Thank you guys so much for watching yet another Shameless Watch Collector watch review. This was a fun one, and one that I did not expect to be so great. Again, let me know if you have any watches from Aethelsohn in the comments and what your experience has been with them. Thank you all so much for helping this channel hit 5,000 subscribers. It truly means the world to me. I just cannot believe how quickly this has happened, and I am just so full of gratitude. Coming very soon will be our 5,000 subscriber special video, so keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a fun and hilarious one, where we will also be giving away a free watch. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything coming up. I'll see you all again very soon. But until then, Shameless Watch Collector, signing out. And always remember, it's not that serious.